It's Thursday, August 6th, 2026, and you're watching the cwProposal report. All right, this time we got a pretty quick one. Just an enhancement we've added to the proposal dashboard here. When we hit the open button, we get our proposal listing. Right now I only have 8 of them in there. And the new addition to this is these things that I'm calling corner badges, right? They're in the corner of the status column and the job unique identifier column. And what these give you is a quick, X-ray insight into some information about that job or that proposal. One thing I want to make clear is the first 8 digits of the job unique identifier identifies the job. So think of that as the actual location. So if this is a residential house that you're, for example, this is one we're doing a deck on, that's the actual house. So we went and did the estimate there. That's the job location. So when you have site photos, which is what this corner badge refers to, that 27 up there means when we did the initial estimate, we took 27 site photos of that house and uploaded them to, onto this job, not necessarily this proposal. So you'll see when you have 2 rows that have the same first 8 digits, they're the same job, their number should always be the same. And we're going to look at an example of that. Before we do that, let's look at the status one too. If we open this up, we see the buttons here. This shows site photos, this shows comment status, and this corner badge that we're calling it, this corner badge refers to the number of comments that are on that proposal. Comments, status and comments is per proposal. So you could have one revision of a proposal that was signed and one that's inactive and no longer valid. So you can have different statuses for different proposals, but when you look at an actual job, there's only one set of photos per the job, no matter how many proposals you did and how many revisions. It's just too cumbersome to try to track different photos for every different proposal, right? We found that becomes too much of a nuisance, and we typically just want one set of them and that's it. If you really do have something that's so different, let's say you did the job on the back of a house and then you go back a year later to do their front porch, well, that would be a whole new job number. So this first part of the job number would be different as well. So think of it that way. It's just a way of narrowing them down. So, and if we click on this comment status, see how our corner badge says 1. If we click on that comment status, you'll see that there is 1 comment in there. It's right here, that 1 comment I put in. And so that's why that shows you a 1. And you can show all the rest of these have 0. And that could be a real quick clue without having to go into each comment, into each comment section of every proposal. If you open this up and you're going back to look at a proposal that you haven't looked at for a year, you may notice this number says 10 or 20 and there's 20 comments in there. Well, you might want to go back and review those before you get back into it. The site photos as well, it says there's 27 of them on this job. Click on that and you can see, sure enough, it says 1 of 27, and there's all the estimate, the photos we took when we were at the initial estimate of this job. I added some in here later on that are for after the job was under construction and that. So site photos depend on what you really want them for, but just keep in mind, and it shows you that here. It says for this job, it just has the job number, no revision and no change order number on there. Another thing to keep in mind here is a good example of 2 proposals. They're the same job number, the same revision number, right? You have the job numbers, the first 8 digits, the revision number is the second 2 digits, and then the end one is change orders. So this is a job that had a change order onto that revision. So let's say this isn't marked signed or anything, this is just test data. Let's say that was signed. Now, if this number says 0 and you're pretty sure there's some photos in there for that, that means that number hasn't been updated. And it gets updated when you upload photos or when you view the carousel of photos. So we can demonstrate that right here. That says 0, but if we click on this and we see it shows us the site photo button. Now keep in mind that for this 2023-0002 job, this one's 0 and this one's 0. But once I view the photos, as soon as I open this to view the photos, it's going to download 12 of them here. And if we look in the background, it actually updated that number on both of these rows to 12. And now that'll be updated by default. If we close this and open it back up, see how those numbers are already 12? That's because that's been refreshed. Now, the only way that's really going to happen, that these numbers are going to get out of line, is if you go in the background and put some photos into the folder in ImageKit. If you go through the back door and put photos in that way, which you can certainly do, there's no problem at all with that. Just know that if you come up here and you see, well, that number's not correct with what I know is in ImageKit, all you have to do is come in here, hit the Site Photos button, view those photos, and it's going to update that number. But for the most part, they should stay synchronized, because anytime you're in edit mode and you do this site photo upload right here, oh, well, let us do that without a, let's see, we got an upload. Let's open a proposal. Anytime you go in here, fine, and you hit the site photo upload, anytime you run this, it is going to, it's going to go ahead and update that number. So that number should stay in sync most of the time. And whenever you upload photos, it's going to show you all the photos you uploaded, or all the ones that are in the folder on ImageKit, so you can verify what they look like. I didn't want to clear out the signatures, so I just refreshed that so they would come back. So that's it, just a quick way to see with these corner badges. I think it's one more thing that'll give you a real quick look, you know, and if you look in here and you go, you know, if you look down these and you see, oh, they all have image photos, but some of these are 0, and then you might go, why are they 0? I like to put photos on every proposal I send out, and if you see ones that are 0, then maybe you forgot to put them on there, or you didn't take any photos when you were doing the estimate. So just a quick way to get you a little more information.